Rob Star Gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone in here. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Welcome back to another episode of the Rob Star Report. It's probably like 1,200 and something episode. No, it's more than that. I think I've done more than how many episodes after being in this game for the past, like, Jesus, going on 4 years, 3 years. It'll be 3 or 4 going into July. So I'll have to look back and see how long I've been doing this channel for. But appreciate everyone in here. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. My goodness, my camera is blurry as sin. We're gonna fix that right now. We're gonna fix that right now. My camera is so blurry. That is insane, bro. Hold on. Bam. It's still kind of, well, no, that's because that, I don't know why it does that with this whole like blurry thing, but anyways. Other than that, guys, appreciate y'all in here. Again, do me a favor, jump in the chat, share your thoughts as we go through tonight's live stream. Yeah, share your thoughts, guys. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Hear from you guys as we go through. Love the comments already. Shout out to everybody already in the chat. Eric, Underground West, Jadarius talking about his Sixers getting the 3rd pick in the NBA draft. Of course, Charlotte gets number 4. It's the most like Charlotte thing that the Hornets could do is get the 4th pick in the NBA draft. Another thing is they'll probably end up get some 6'3" shooting guard that can't shoot and is injury prone, which that's what the Charlotte Hornets do every single year. So hit that like button on the way in. Josh, appreciate you joining. Earl, what's going on, Clay? Not much, man. You're looking at it. And hit that like button on your way in. Yes, absolutely. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So, man, rookie minicamp is in the books. We got Team Mac Shine. We're going to talk about him. Jimmy Horn Jr. Obviously exploded at this camp, and Dave Canales has a quarter chub as of right now, based off of T Mac and Jimmy Horn Jr. So apparently he's got a quarter chub as of right now. I heard reports out there. So that's what I heard. Vietnam, what's good? Appreciate you joining, my brother. All right. Let's dive into this bad boy. Let's dive into this rookie minicamp recap. All right. Oh, I came with presentations today, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I came with presentations. All right, we're bringing back the presentations. I'm going to try to do more of these. Here's the thing. So the chaotic circus of the offseason. You got the chaotic circus of free agency. We had the chaotic circus of the NFL draft. All that is over. And now officially we are over with the rookie minicamp. All right. So there's some important dates still that you guys need to look forward to in the next couple, between May and now. All right. Rookie minicamp's over with. Now we've got this NFL schedule reveal. This is going to be interesting because I'm looking forward to the schedule reveal, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I am looking forward to that schedule reveal. I am so ready for it, to be honest with you. This is where the league will make a huge deal about announcing a bunch of games we already know are going to happen, but at the same time, we just don't know when. Like, we finally found out when those games are, which matters because now you can start stressing out, planning your Sundays, and then also make sure you book your therapy sessions on the Monday afterwards. You know what I mean? All right. You know what I mean? So, what's up, broski? Appreciate you joining. I'm traveling from Washington State to Charlotte to finally see a home game this season. That's awesome. That is awesome, Vino Thor. That's freaking great, man. Happy for you. I am happy for you. You need to get over here, man. Get over here. Okay. Another thing. All right. After you book your therapy session, after those back-to-back road games, after you find out that NFL schedule reveal, go ahead and do that. Expect primetime games this year, maybe. Does Carolina get a primetime game? I don't know. Probably not, but hey, maybe we'll get a Thursday night matchup against another bottom feeder. Hopefully that's the case. I mean, I hope we get a bottom feeder on a primetime game. That'd be nice, but at the same time, but horseshoes and hand grenades, man. Another thing, we got OTAs, voluntary in theory. In reality, you show up unless you want your position coach side-eyeing you for the next 3 months. So these are like the first real practices with the full squad, veterans, rookies, the one guy who's been on 6 teams in 5 years. It's like, and then shorts and helmets. So no contact, and still somehow someone always gets hurt. That's just how OTAs work, man. But I hope that everyone's at OTAs. I mean, I hope that at least majority of this rookies and of course and most of the starters show up. Right? That would be ideal, but that's never the case. That's never the case. Another thing, we got June. So June is the month that I'm like, please, nobody, don't get injured. That's the month that I'm like looking at and I'm like, please, for the love of God, nobody get injured. Okay. You got more OTAs on the 2nd through the 3rd, and then you got on the 5th. So wash, rinse, repeat. You'll hear media folks hyping up some undrafted wide receiver running Chris routes against the air. And these are the sessions are mostly about installing schemes and building chemistry and you guys, seeing who can actually study the playbook, who's been on the beach since like April. So and then you got back to mandatory minicamp, which this one's not optional. So if you're not here, you're either negotiating a contract, not many Panthers in that boat, so that's good, or you're just being a diva at that point. So so this is the last chance to make a first impression before everyone disappears for a month. And expect glowing camp reports on your favorite rookies, and followed by silence as 80% of them vanish by final cuts. So normally that's what happens. That is normally what happens with these type of dates. So that's the next important dates coming up. July and August, we'll get into those as we get closer. All right, let's dive into this minicamp, man. Let's recap it. T-Mac meets the hype, man. He does. He meets the hype. I'll tell you. The 8th overall pick, who's a 6'4", fluid as hell, showed up like a damn professional. And from reports and what I was seeing, Dave Canales didn't sugarcoat it. This guy's game is clean, man. And Canales came out and says he looks smooth, easy to throw to. He goes just like we thought, basically. And that's what Canales said. He also said you can see the route crafting. The guy works. Came in ready to go. Okay. When I hear that, right, here's the translation. He's not some big body project who will need 3 years to learn how to run a dig route. He's a polished route technician with sure hands, a high football IQ. At Arizona, you're talking about a guy that racked up over 213 catches for over 3,400 yards, 26 touchdowns, and that's in 3 seasons. Okay. That's not production. That is surgically efficiency. Okay. Is it surgically efficiency, ladies and gentlemen? All right. Another thing on top of that. McMillan isn't resting on his draft status. And thank God for that, because most of the time, high draft picks can sometimes walk into these buildings and they act like they're shit doesn't stink. And it happens. It does. It happens every single year with somebody. But this kid, he's already bought into the process. He's not just saying the right things. He means them, right? Even the best in the world need to get coaching. Like, he even said that Ropp, came out, and that's what he said. He said, even the best in the world need coaching. That's what T-Mac said. He also said that Coach Rob Moore is going to turn me from good to great. And I think he's dead right. NFL defenders don't care about, here's the thing. NFL defenders don't care how many Pac-12 corners you burn. Okay, let's be honest. You are now playing with grown-ass men now, and every inch is earned. And I think having a coach like Rob Moore, who's coached top guys before, is a golden ticket if you're smart enough to cash it in. And T-Mac gets it. He gets it. He gets it. Zach comes in and says, I know this was way off topic, but how in the world do people genuinely think a gorilla can beat a bear 1v1? Borowski Bear says, it depends on what type of bear. Here we go. So glad they took me, T-Mac. Me too, Josh. FanFest, let's go. Let's go. I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to watch this. And I need to probably going to have to buy my tickets for FanFest and go. People think a silverback gorilla could beat a grizzly bear. I could see that. I could see that, Zach. You must not obviously know how strong a silverback gorilla is. And one of those corners was Hunter, who had grabbed him on one play to stop him. Yep. And a lot of people think that he's a bust. They say that the only good game he had was against New Mexico. And I don't think that's true at all. And it's crazy to me that people think that. It's crazy to me they think this guy, they go, if you watch the tape, he doesn't beat nobody. He doesn't beat anybody. Travis Hunter? I mean, if you go look at his competition, it was Travis Hunter and, I mean, I don't know of any corners. Maybe what Darian Porter? Did he go up against Iowa State? Like, I'd have to go back and look at T-Mac, who he played through his. I've watched this tape. I'll tell y'all this. I was not the biggest T-Mac fan. I'll be honest with you. I was not the biggest T-Mac fan coming out. He was not my wide receiver one. I saw the upside. Again, there was just some things that I just felt. I didn't feel like we need a guy like this. But because I felt like we needed a guy like Matthew Golden, right? I needed someone that could take the top off. But, I wasn't mad about the pick. So, T-Mac had over 1,000 a year. The last 2 years, he's going to be good for us. Yeah, absolutely, Era. He's going to be the You Got Moss man. I hope so. I hope we see a lot of You Got Moss plays, man. I hope we see a lot of You Got Moss plays. But here's another thing. Dave Canales wants a damn duo. Because he came out and said that. See, Carlos Torres, I like that too. Like, I don't care who the duo is at the end of the day, as long as we do have a damn duo. I'm cool with it. I don't care if it ends up being T-Mac and Jimmy Hort Jr., or if this is the duo that we're seeing right here, Xavier Legette and him, or Jalen Coker and T-Mac. I don't care. Okay? But give me a dynamic duo. And I agree with Dave to Canales. I want the same thing. I want the same thing. Like, again, let's not forget about Xavier Legette last year's, right? Like Canales made it clear he expects and Dave Canales came out and said this. He expects McMillan and Legette to feed off each other and build a monster tandem. Like, if you go watch to one of his recent interviews with Dave Canales says guys feed off good energy. That's what he said. He said it, and then he said Xavier sets the tone. They're going to see what it looks like when a young guy applies himself. So what that tells me, that's coach. That's that coach speaking for. There are no excuses. You either helping this offense or you're in the damn way. McMillan brings polish. Legette brings dog mentality, physicality. So does obviously T-Mac does as well. He does need to I do need to see T-Mac get a little bit stronger. You know, everybody wants him to be the next Mike Evans. He has to get a little bit stronger to be more physical like a Mike Evans, right? But you want him to build more muscle. He's going to have to build more muscle to do that because he is, from a frame-wise, he's smaller than Mike Evans. So for him to get more physical, he's going to have to build up. But hopefully he doesn't lose any of that speed, right? You know, but if they click, here's the thing. If this duo clicks, man, Carolina might finally have something that resembles a passing game. You know what I mean? He get bigger in time, T-Mac. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, here's the thing, Don 34 preseason. You can preach that all you want, man. Like I agree with you. We've got to see our starters more this preseason. You know, if we're going to be playing these preseason games, you got to give me these rookies, give them a lot of reps. But these starters in this group with Bryce, I need more reps. I need a rep. I need a good preseason game. A solid, give me a whole half. Give me a half or give me 3 quarters each and every preseason game. Something. Because I feel like every year we're pushing this team back. We're not doing ourselves justice going into week 1 without some reps besides training camp and practice. Like, I need to see that. I need to see that. Guys, do me a favor. There's over 37 people watching on YouTube. Please do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button 37 times. We should already be at 37 likes, man. I would greatly appreciate it. It's very simple. You actually, to be honest with you, let me show you how simple it is to smash that like button. So if you just do those 3 things, ladies and gentlemen, I would greatly appreciate it. It takes literally, that clip was 6 seconds. So if you could take 6 seconds out of your time, I would greatly appreciate that. All right. I would greatly appreciate that. Actually, you know what? With this dynamic duo, this brings up a good poll question. Which duo? Oh, let's make it this. Would you rather? Actually, who would you rather have as a wide receiver duo? It's interesting. You got T-Mac and Horn. I'll put Horn, or T-Mac and XL. I'm interested to see that poll question. And then I'm going to put Another vote other, and I'm going to say comment who. Who would you rather have as a wide receiver duo for the Panthers? There we go. The interesting poll question. I think that's a good one. It's an interesting poll question. Who would you rather have as a wide receiver duo for the Panthers? I want the trio. Trio's fine. We can have a trio, but let's say Vino Thor, we don't really have a true trio. That's why I said T-Mac or Excel or T-Mac and Horn. I actually think at this point now, how much hype that's getting around Jimmy Horn, ladies and gentlemen, I could see it being where it's T-Mac, XL, Jimmy Horn. I'm just saying. I could see something like that. What's up, Miss Riz? Hope all is well. She says T-Mac and Coker. I want the trio of XL, Coker, and T-Mac. I'm not paying Bryce and for what he would have to make the playoffs his 4th and 5th year. Feel that, Don 34. Against all odds comes in and says T-Mac and Jimmy Horn. Eric says 4. So Eric is going with a quadruple group. He's going Jalen Coker, T-Mac, XL, Jimmy Horn. Yeah, we can't count out Coker for sure. That's why it's an interesting one. That's why I say comment other. You could say a dynamic trio, or you could say a quadruple. You could have a quad family in there, man. You could have a quad family in there. It's good to have those types of options, especially with a developing quarterback in Bryce Young. That when you have this type of options, man, it is not a bad thing. And let's not forget, you still got Kobe Hudson. You still got Jacoby George, right? Is that his name? Out of the boy out of Miami? Is it Jacoby George? Is that correct? The undrafted free agent wide receiver of Miami. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Jacoby George. I heard good things about him in the rookie minicamp. Who else? Mr. Toxic Black, what's good, my guy? What is good? I'm trying to think. And there was another one. Yeah, it's Jacoby George. But then you got to think about it. You still got David Moore. You still got Hunter Renfrow. You got options, man. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. So they'll figure, and you've got a lot of talent in that room. And again, I think Hunter Renfrow could be a sleeper. I could honestly see Hunter Renfrow being a sleeper. I could see where it's like wide receiver 1's T-Mac, and behind him is Jalen Coker. Wide receiver 2, I could see it being Xavier Legette, and then behind him is David Moore. And then in the slot, I could see it being Thielen, then Jimmy Horn, then Hunter Renfrow. But that's 7 wide receivers. I mean, they could end up putting 7 wide receivers on this roster because the running back room's only going to have 3. Raheem Blackshear is not going to be here now. I honestly think, and they're going to, since with Brooks on the pup, they're only going to have 3 running backs, and it's going to be Chuba, Daddle, and I think it's going to be, in my opinion, I think ETN. And then you can't forget about the tight end room. Don't sleep on Mitchell Evans now. You're gonna have so much. We have so much depth now. Only place we really don't have depth in is really on the. It's really just these 2 positions: safety and corner. That's the only place I'm worried about where depth is, and maybe linebacker as well, especially in the middle. Especially in the middle. So it's going to be interesting how I think the offensive side is the one I'm really looking forward to. Defensively, I kind of already see where things are going to go now that they got rid of Jadeveon Clowney. But really, I'm hoping that maybe they aren't done with the defense yet. I'm hoping that way they can find somebody. Like I'm hoping that they can get Julian Blackman, and maybe they find a veteran corner. I know they brought in a veteran corner, but I'm not sure how he's going to be. All right, let's continue. Let's talk about Jimmy Horn, though. Oh, I didn't mean to go that far. I'm going to let it play the video. Oh, shoot. All right. I had to play the clip real quick. David Moore moved to roster. Don't forget about Muhammad. See his highlights. Nader, I've watched this tape, man. I just don't see Moose Muhammad making this team. I've watched this tape. His tape does not jump off to me like Kobe Hudson or Jimmy Horn. Moose Muhammad will not make this roster, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. He may make the practice squad. He might make the practice squad, but he's not making the starting roster. I'm sorry. So don't sit there and tell me to see his highlights. I've watched this tape and I could break his tape down. I'm sorry. Sign Asante Samuel easy. I agree with that too, Dom 34. I agree with that too. I want to bring him in too. What's up? What's up, Panthers boy? 803. Appreciate you. I think Coker will take another step forward. He probably will. He's a hard worker, man. Got to give him some props. Let's talk about Jimmy Horn, man. You're talking about pure speed. We're talking about another guy who could. I'll say this: this Panthers offense of 2024. Like if we go back and look at that offense, man, I'll say this. Let me just say this first, okay? We didn't have any speed last year. Like our Panthers offense had a speed setting and it was stuck on dial up. Let's be honest. We now have Jimmy Horn, who's a burner, who's got legit wheels and possibly the deep threat we've been begging for. And I think it's interesting. I think that everyone can benefit from everyone in this wide receiver room. And I haven't felt that way in such a long time. Like you got to think about it this way. Let's cut through the noise. Yes, T-Mac was the star of the Panthers rookie minicamp for sure. And sure, when you spend the 8th overall pick on a guy who's 6'4", who glides like a damn greyhound, that's where the headlines go. But Dave Canales, he could not stop talking about this kid. And he couldn't talk about, and you got to think about how much further down on the draft boards he was. Like, that's someone, 6th-round pick, Jimmy Horn Jr. If you're rolling your eyes because the 6th-round receivers never make it, you clearly didn't watch any of this kid at all over the weekend, okay? You didn't look on X. X had plenty of highlights. X had plenty of praise for Jimmy Horn. There has been, it sucks that we can't be there. It sucks that we can't even we ain't going to be able to go to training camp to watch these guys. But let me be clear. From my reports and what I was seeing all over X and what I was seeing from news reporters, what I was seeing from press conferences, everything that I could get my hands on and figure out what was going on during these rookie minicamps. Let's be clear. This guy wasn't just pretty good for a late round guy. He's popped. he has popped. He's in a group of full of prospects trying not to trip over their own feet. Horn looked like a live wire out there. Explosive routes, sharp cuts, real deal acceleration, basically everything you're looking for. His underwhelming pre-draft measurables said he wasn't. So that's the thing. Like, and even Canales came out and noticed all this stuff. Like, he didn't hold back. Like he said, the kid's body control, the explosiveness, burst into his routes. Then on some of the deeper ones, he saw him open up. That vertical element is going to bring something we were missing. And that's the exact words from Dave Canales himself. Now, and then he also said, and I'm going to quote him here, he goes, we're always looking at what trait each receiver adds to the room and brings his own flavor. To me, translation, that means that this offense was slow as shit last year. And it was. It was. And this guy, Horn, might be able to fix that, right? This is a guy that's going to be able to bring some speed to this offense that we've been looking for. Yeah, but Fino Thor, you're talking, but it's not about the 40 time. If you want to watch anything of Jimmy Horn, go watch his gauntlet drill. That's something that you need to go watch. That will tell you everything you need to know about what this kid's going to be able to bring to the table. Toxic Black, you sound crazy. You must be one of those Falcons fans that thinks that that Michael Penix is the dark horse for an MVP. That's what I'm saying. 40 times don't mean anything. If you want to see how good a wide receiver is and you want to talk about anything, first off, watch his tape, but also at the same time, go watch his gauntlet drill. Don't look at 40 times. Go watch the gauntlet drill. Okay. What are we going to do, Raheem Blackshear? Give him the boot, or he'll end up going to the practice squad. I can tell you that right now. I think that Dave Canales wants to have 7 of these guys on his roster if he can have it that way. I wouldn't be surprised. That running back room is going to be 3 running backs, and it's going to be Chuba Hubbard. And I guarantee you it will be Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle, and Trevor Etienne. Yeah, they brought Blackshear back for a 1-year deal, but I guarantee you it ain't breaking their pockets. So let me be honest there. Now, we're talking about a team, and here's another thing. We got to think about it this way. We're talking about a team, and that didn't have, again, we don't have a guy like this. We didn't have a guy like this last year. But here's the thing. Nobody expected Jimmy Horn to be on anyone's radar this early. He was a 208th overall pick. That's the kind of draft slot where GMs start just throwing darts at the board, and they're praying that, hoping that one of these damn guys stick. But if Minicamp has any indication, this might be one of those rare times where a team finds an actual fucking weapon buried in those late rounds. This kid's got the juice. He's not a gadget player juice. He's got real juice. Enough to take the top off of defense, enough to be a problem in the if left in single coverage. I'm telling you right now, you're talking about a guy too in Colorado, averaged 12.1 yards per catch in college. So he plays like he knows something's been stolen from him. Like, now, none of that matters. If he disappears once the vet shows up, it's one thing to look electric when you're roasting fellow rookies and trying out guys. It's a whole different beast where you're going up against grown-ass DBs trying to jam you at the line and steal your lunch money. But that's where the fun starts. So here's the thing. This wide receiver room's crowded. All right. We were just talking about it. I don't think our wide receiver depth chart is elite. But it is, let me be clear on this. It's suddenly interesting. Like we were just talking about it. It's suddenly interesting because here's the thing. McMillan, golden child. If he pans out, wide receiver 1, easy. Leggett, still trying to carve out his role after a raw rookie year. I think he's wide receiver 2. Hunter Renfrow, while not flashy, steady veteran. Who knows how to get open? He knows how to move the chains. But with the sickness coming back, we'll see. You add Horn into that mix. And now you got a little chaos brewing. This is exactly what Canales wants. Competition, urgency, guys fighting for every snap like it's their last. That iron sharpens iron cliche. That's the whole vibe in Carolina right now. Like, you get Horn as a 6th-round pick. It's both a threat and an opportunity. So you show up, you bust your ass, you make plays. Guess what? You're in the damn mix, ladies and gentlemen. So here's the thing. I'm not going to crown this kid yet. Like, one good weekend at rookie minicamp doesn't mean he's making the 53-man roster, letting alone lighting up Sundays. But this is a hell of a start for a guy who was a 6th-round pick. He's got the right mix of confidence and urgency. He's clearly caught Canales' eye. That matters when your name isn't written in Sharpie on the depth chart. So if he keeps this up when the vets return, when the pads go on and the tempo starts hitting that holy shit levels, then Horn could be the kind of surprise that flips games, stretches defense. But if he lets off that gas, if he assumes anything's been earned, he'll be a practice squad guy. So, but again, I like it. I think I do like Horn. I'll say this, and and another thing is we got to also think about it this way with him. What's up, Thrift? What's up with the Thrift Life? See you, Clay. See you later, Zach. Appreciate you joining. You think we're gonna release Brooks? No, I don't. I don't think we're gonna release him. They put him on the pup. I think they're gonna give him to 2026. Hurricanes up to after 2 periods. Yeah, I've got it. That's why I've been looking over here. I got it on right now. I've got it on right now. We're up 2-0, baby. We are up 2-0. But here's the thing with Horn, man. Another thing I want to say about this with Horn is you got to remember this last year. This is a team that averaged 6.2 yards per attempt last season. That's dead fish in the territory. Because I want to go back to what I mentioned earlier. There was only 2 teams worse than us in that category at 6.2 per pass attempt last season, right? 6.2 yards per pass attempt last season. We're talking about a guy who averaged 12.1 in college, was a walking big play waiting to happen. He may not have been the wide receiver 1 there in Colorado, but if you're stretching the field and keeping safeties honest, you're damn valuable in today's NFL. And Horn looks ready to punch that ticket. So, again, I just want to see what happens once he starts going up against actual NFL vets, and then we can have a total other conversation. All right, we can have another conversation. But this is just, this is rookie minicamp, man. So, ESPN hypes up Panthers Nick Scorton. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right. You gotta love it. Also, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Just like that. There you go. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. But yeah, ESPN hypes up. This is the next topic I want to talk about tonight. We know last year that our pass rush was absolutely garbage last season. They were soft on the edge, effective against the run, flat out toothless, getting after the quarterback. And we knew our front office knew it. Um, our fans knew it. We knew it. Opposing offenses on the field knew it because, and it was, you know, opposing offense had a field day with us because of it. So we got to think about it this way. Dan Morgan did what any desperate GM would do. He burned the old blueprint, get big on youth, speed, raw aggression. You get Nick Scorton. Second round pick, guy who's definitely got a chip on his shoulder, a Big Ten sack crown under his belt, a whole lot of expectations riding on his broad ass shoulders. But Field Yates isn't just sipping the Kool-Aid, he's chugging it. Because Field Yates came out, and this isn't the quote he said. Well, this is the quote that he said right here. Field Yates of ESPN said this right here. Don't think of any other edge rusher in this year's class. Takes his run stuffing edge setting responsibility as prideful as Nick Scorton. He is heavily handed and powerful and intense play on every single down. Scorton arrives in Carolina with an advanced arsenal of rushing tactics and contribute right away, especially since the team cut Jadeveon Clowney, said Yates. So after reading that off, translation that tells me the Panthers didn't just cut Clowney because of the age or the salary. To me now, it's saying that, okay, he was a short-term Band-Aid in a broken system. So now you're gambling on Scorton to be that long-term fix. And while Scorton isn't a sure thing, let's be honest, no second rounder is, okay? Not every pick really is a sure thing, but there's plenty of reason to believe the hype might actually stick this time. Here's the thing where I'm getting at with this, folks, all right? Stay with me. Okay, stay with me. Scorton, when I broke down Scorton's film here, we did it through the draft process. We did it through a lot of guys. Scorton isn't just flash, he's functional. When I watched it, and his film doesn't lie. He's a punisher on run plays. He's setting a hard edge like it's personal. That matters a hell of a lot for a team that last year, when we're talking about us, we got gashed on the ground all season long. Like this guy, when you watch him, you can tell he plays angry, not in the reckless, he doesn't play in the undisciplined kind of way. He is very calculated at what he does. He's only 20 years old. He's already shown the technical skill set that many rookies spend years trying to develop. Now, sure, his production dipped last year at Texas A&M, only 5 sacks, but there's context, right, to everything. When he went to Texas A&M, scheme changed. When he also went to Texas A&M, he played a different role, a less aggressive front. He also bulked up. But if you go back and watch his film, which is where I watched most of his film was during his Purdue days, where you're looking at a Big Ten sack leader back in 2023. 10 takedown, 10 sacks, consistent pressure, a motor that didn't quit. That's the guy Carolina is banking on reawakening, right? So, again, don't expect this guy to be some bench warmer, okay? That's not what he's here to do. Okay? Okay, let's be clear. Scorton's not walking into a red shirt year. The Panthers' depth chart at edge, I mean, we're not exactly overflowing with proven studs. Okay, DJ Wanham, I think, is solid. I think he's a guy that, 8 games. I think he had 4 sacks. So you're maybe looking at a guy who could have 8 to 10 sacks. So he's solid. Patrick Jones had 7 sacks last year as a rotational guy, has some juice. but neither is going to stop a rising star from taking their job if he earns it. Like, I think at worst, Scorton will be in that heavy rotation in week one. At best, he's a starter by midseason. He's blowing up plays, reminding teams that Panthers might actually have a pulse again on defense. And keep in mind, another thing is Carolina also brought in Princely. All right, McMillan, another upside athlete who could contribute early. And after the mess of 2024. I mean, the goal at this point is clear. Like you're gonna throw 4 edge rushers at the problem and hope at least 2 hit. So that's not reckless. That's rebuilding with urgency. You've got 4 guys and you're hoping 2 of them hit. You got a 50-50 chance. So in this case, it's like a high ceiling, real risk, but worth the damn gamble because get think about it this way. Look, Scorton is not a polished all-pro, ladies and gentlemen, out the gate. He's raw in spots. He needs to tighten up his timing. I think that he has to prove he can win consistently at the NFL level, especially with tackles. But the physical, man, they are all there, ladies and gentlemen. You got length, you got burst, you got heavy hands, nasty. You got a nasty streak. You can't coach that, okay? He's the kind of prospect who can either be a Pro Bowler by 2026 or a forgotten footnote if the coach sucks, the development plan falls apart. But Morgan clearly thinks that they can mold him. And Evero's scheme will give him chances to pin his ears back, cause chaos. And if Scorton responds the way that we all hope he's going to, which I hope that he's going to, and I think he's going to, you might actually finally have drafted a guy who could actually be a game wrecker worth fearing. Okay. That's the thing I'm getting at. That's the thing I'm getting at. So here's the thing. Final thoughts on this. I'm just gonna say this. I think the Nick Scorton hype train is gaining steam. I've seen people give him a pro comp of Von Miller. If that's the case, shit. Sky's the limit. Because here's the thing. It's not just empty talk. It's you can go and look at his traits. You can go and watch his tape, and a team with nothing to lose. Like, you're talking about a defense that was such an embarrassment last season. And now that you're betting on a 20-year-old with a mean streak and something to prove can help flip the damn script. Honestly, that it might sound crazy to you, but that might not be such a crazy bet after all, if you're thinking about it. So but what's up, Nick Tri-State? Appreciate you joining, man. But yeah, that's my mini camp recap, man. We went over a couple of big dates coming up. We've got Jimmy Horn. We're just fired up about Jimmy Horn. I'm fired up about the upcoming dates. We talked about Nick Scorton and stuff like that now, and T-Mac shining out there. I'm kind of interested to see what this poll question looks like. We got 44 votes, and everybody said T-Mac and XL got the most votes for which dynamic duo everybody wanted. We've got over 55 people watching. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. And honestly, this is how easy it is. We got 55 people and only 35 likes. Like, this is how simple it is, ladies and gentlemen. So that clip's only like 6 seconds. So that's only how long it takes for you guys to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Guys, if you're feeling generous, pinned at the top of the chat, donate to the channel, whether it's Venmo or Cash App. Greatly appreciate it. You can also you can use the super chats to send show your support. I'm gonna also probably send out some memberships here soon. But super chat, super stickers, memberships, they're all there. I greatly appreciate you guys. As always, make sure you guys, as you're coming in or coming out, make sure you pound that like button, hit that subscribe button. That is the mini camp breakdown. Guys, tomorrow we'll be live again. Gonna have more content coming out to you guys, so don't worry about that. Other than that, guys, I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. And as always, y'all know what to do. I'm out of here. Keep pounding. Peace.